Merhaba arkadaşlar, hepiniz IEFT Talks webinarlarına hoş geldiniz. Bugün ABD'nin Gözde Üniversitelerinden St. Cloud State University'de eğitim ve burs olanaklarını Wade ve Leslie'den dinliyor olacağız. Lütfen sorularınızı questions kısmından sormayı unutmayın. Yes, Wade, the stage is yours now.
Excellent. Well, we're really excited to be here today, and thank you for joining us. I'm going to go ahead and start right away with sharing my screen so that we've got that. And let's make sure I've done that right. It should be coming right through. So there we are. Unleash passion. And that is part of what we are about. And so we are St. Cloud State University. And I'm going to start right away with what people like to kind of know. First of all, let's start with where we are. St. Cloud State University is located in Minnesota, which is at the center of the United States, all the way up at the top. So you'll see the top of the state actually borders Canada. We're less than 500 miles from Chicago, and we're about 65 miles, 100 kilometers from Minneapolis or St. Paul. St. Paul is the capital of the state of Minnesota. One of the great things about St. Cloud State University is we are located right on the Mississippi River, that we have an absolutely beautiful campus where you can see some incredible views of the river, just like you're seeing in the background of this picture. One of the reasons that I like to talk about Minnesota is our affordability, and we're going to come back to that at the end of the presentation to find out why we're such a great option for you. St. Cloud State is a comprehensive university that is made to serve the region. And one of the great things about us is we have over 200 undergraduate programs. So with the number of students that we've got, we're able to offer all sorts of undergraduate programs. We also have postgraduate programs. So if you're interested in graduate programs, for example, a master's degree, we are a great opportunity for you, and I'll talk about some of that as well. The focus is predominantly on undergraduate, but I will make sure we talk about graduate options as well. We're a well-founded university, so that's one of the important things that we're once again quite proud of, is that we have been a university for over 150 years, and that is a real accomplishment when you think about how U.S. higher education has grown and the opportunities that exist. So we're quite proud of that. Just some other statistics for you to be aware of. There are courses are taught by our faculty is a 95%. We have a phenomenal ratio of faculty, student to faculty. So that's a great way to judge what kind of personal service you're going to get. I always like to use my parents are retired, and so they enjoy cruising. And one of the things they look at on the cruise ship is how many people are on the ship and what the level of service is going to be compared to the number of staff on the ship. So you can do the same kind of comparison when you're looking at universities. What is the student to faculty ratio so that you understand what kind of relationship you're going to be able to have with your faculty. The countries represented, now this is an important one. And particularly for a place like Turkey, we love to have you come and explore and understand more about Minnesota. But we also have 93 different countries that are represented in Minnesota. So you've got great opportunities to meet students from around the world. So just some fun opportunities for you with the university. This is a view looking the other direction across the Mississippi River there. These are some of the buildings there. The second building is Riverview, one of the oldest buildings on campus. And some information about Minnesota. We have a total population of about 5.64 million. And St. Cloud has a population of around 66 million, or 66,000. So it gives you an understanding of what the population is of Minnesota, so that you're able to do some comparison of understanding some of that. Minnesota also has a wealth of what we call Fortune 500 countries. And that's where you have some phenomenal opportunities. And so whether it's 3M, who's been so critical throughout the coronavirus in the production of masks, that is an example of some of the companies that are based in Minnesota. Target, which is I like to compare it, probably in Turkey, your closest example of something that's like Target is Carrefour, one of my favorite stores in Europe, and enjoy some of that. But we also have some great connections to the medical world as well. So whether it's the United Health Group, Centricare, or the Mayo Clinic, which is one of the world's top medical groups, that we have strong connections as a university with them, and great opportunities for you to carry on your education or do some sort of work placement or internship with them. This is just a wide-ranging list, and I don't like to focus too much on it because it's almost just too overwhelming to understand how many undergraduate degrees we have. But this gives you a visual of that. That we have a wide range, so everything from accounting to theater. We have pre-medicine or pre-law. We have cybersecurity, which is a really interesting one that takes the criminal justice and computer science and tries to put them together so you understand more. We have mass communications, which is a phenomenal program that looks at advertising, that it looks at public relations, journalism, etc. And then all sorts of engineering as well. So those are all options for you. Some of our most popular ones, this is a more condensed list than what I just showed. Gives you kind of a sense of the wide range again. So again, everything from biochemistry, cybersecurity, finance, and we have an incredible economics program. We also have an absolutely wonderful School of Business. And so just a wide range of opportunities for you. And then again, when we get to the graduate level, we have a whole list here. And this is all of the graduate programs. There are 60 graduate programs, including an MBA and a Master's of Engineering Management. Now that's an interesting master's degree because what you're doing in that master's is looking at using your previous degree and understanding some engineering, but then putting a business angle on it. And so how do you develop the business that also goes with it, or how do you run an engineering department and some of those aspects. Hold on to both of those because when we talk about the scholarship, I do have to note that for both of those two, that the scholarship system is a little bit different than the one I will talk about. So with that, again, some of our most popular graduate programs, everything from teaching English as a second language, the MBA program, applied economics, computer science, some of those being really popular options for you. We also, for those of you that are wanting to gain more confidence or be able to have a stronger English language ability, we do have an intensive English center, which is available for you after you have graduated high school, and it has 5 different levels that you can go into. So if you're just wanting to gain confidence in your language ability, or if you just need to start kind of from some of the more basic levels, we're able to help you with that. And that's an important thing for you to remember as you look at the opportunities available at St. Cloud State. For those of you that are already at university and are just looking for a short-term experience, I like to always talk about our semester at St. Cloud. This is an opportunity for you just to come for 1 term and then return to your university in Turkey. And so this is a great opportunity for you to get an experience in the US. You're able to put it on your CV or on your resume, and then you're able to return to your university. And we will work with them to show how those credits can transfer, what the courses were about, and definitely work with you to get into what you need for those. I also really like to talk about the program in Education USA. Education USA provides a couple of different programs that we have been selected for, and we're really proud of that. That Minnesota is, St. Cloud State University in particular, is able to offer, when we're able to meet in person, we do offer what's called the Education USA Academy, and this is for high school students. This opportunity is the opportunity to experience life in the United States, and it's almost like a summer camp of understanding what university is going to be like. It's highly guided throughout your time, and just a great option for you there. We do, in the online world, and because of COVID, we offer another variation of this, and it might be really beneficial for you to look at. And it's called Education USA Academy Connects. And the Education USA Academy Connects is the online version of it. One of the important things is understanding how we do the different letters of intent or personal statements. And so that's what the 2-week course this summer is. It's fully online, so you don't have to leave Turkey. I understand that Turkey's at least Istanbul is back in lockdown, at least through the end of Ramadan. And but we also know that Turkey has always been very open to both us going there and us being able to get back, you to be able to come to the US. So you're very fortunate about that, and know that these are some opportunities in the meantime that you might want to consider. So if you're interested in those, please let us know, or reach out to Education USA. They have offices all over Turkey, whether you're in Istanbul or Izmir, or it's all over. So just great options for you there. Need to advance here. There we go. I also am just going to briefly touch base. We're a campus about having world experiences, and so we do have the opportunity for students to actually come, and it's like a branch campus of St. Cloud. It's all part of our university, that you have the opportunity to come and study at Annet Castle, which is the castle where Harry Potter was filmed. And we have a facility within the castle where you can come and spend one of your university semesters. You can start here and then carry on to the United States, or having been in the United States, you're welcome to come here as part of your degree course. And so those are all things, as you're looking at St. Cloud State, realize that if you want to have an experience in other countries as well, that we have a wealth of international opportunities. And that's all part of our commitment to making sure that everybody gets around the world, and we express and share ideas and have some great options there. So back to our main campus in the United States. We do have a wealth of opportunities, and it is our main focus as a university. We have all sorts of diversity in student services, from our Center for International Studies to multicultural student services. We have a career center, because not only do you need to be learning the knowledge, but then you need to eventually be looking at how are you going to use that to get a job, and we want to be there to support that. Our academic support, so if you're struggling in a class, there are options for you. And then all sorts of health and wellness services. So we even have our own student health center on campus, where students can go to a doctor right on campus. So opportunities there. As I mentioned before, we're really committed to that global and cultural understanding. We have over 1,200 students from 90 different countries. And so that's where we're really excited about some of the opportunities there. When we kind of come to some of the questions at the end, I want to show a video of our cultural night that just came out, and that our Vice President for International talks about. But we do all sorts of different cultural nights, and some great opportunities for you there. We're a very engaged campus, and that's where it's not just about the classroom, even though that is probably one of the most critical parts, but we also recognize that there's more than just the academic component, that there's the different clubs and organizations and social interaction. And so you have access to all of those different organizations. And with over 250, if there's not one that you want to be a part of, you're always welcome to start one. and it's rather easy to do that. So we have great options for you in that regard. And then all sorts of fun events, like my favorite is Atwood After Dark, where because it's dark at night, they pull out glow sticks and have all sorts of different fun activities for you. So that's one option. The other one that I really take a lot of pride in at St. Cloud State University is our sporting events. And we do phenomenal work with both women and men's sports. And so you can do them either as part of an organized team, in which case you need to be talking to the coach, etc. Or we do a lot of what are called recreational. Intramural is the other word you'll hear, which just means it's more of a friendly experience in terms of it's not a professional competition. And we do a whole range of activities there. This picture here is a great one because St. Cloud State actually won second place in North America this year for its university hockey. We're really proud of our hockey and the work that goes there. Those are all part of the experiences that you're going to have being on campus. That also includes being able to be a part of the campus community in terms of living on campus, being able to eat on campus. And so right now we have encouraged students to be taking a single room because of COVID. I'm not sure if that's set to change just yet, but I actually think students end up preferring it, that it gives them a little more space and opportunity. But then we also provide everything that you need from meal plans. There's a big commons where you can go and just feed yourself left and right. You'll end up putting on weight just like I have during COVID. And just all sorts of fun opportunities for you. Speaking of food, if you come, you have to come and first we're going to have many men for breakfast because you have to show me how to cook it because I love it. And then I always forget the name of the dumplings that I love, but they'll come back to me. But you're going to have to make sure you show us some of your good Turkish food as well. We do have, as a university, access to the Metro bus, and that's an option for you as well. So as a student, you have free transportation around town, and that's a great opportunity. The other one is that you have access to our public safety that we do because we have such a strong criminal justice program. We work very closely with the St. Cloud Police Department to always make sure that our students are as safe as possible. And so that's a real value to us and something that we really work hard to make sure that you are safe while you're studying in the United States. Back to looking at the academic portion, we really believe that you've got to be able to apply what you learn outside of the classroom. And so we have a lot of different research projects you can be involved in, internship product opportunities. We have a great honors program that, again, I really encourage you to always apply for some of these things. What's the worst that can happen? They might say you need a little more work on this, but I always encourage students to consider that. I want to start talking a little bit about the finance, because this is where ultimately is where we students are, can we actually afford this? And this is where St. Cloud State University is such a phenomenal opportunity. St. Cloud State is rated in the top 3% of the most affordable colleges and universities in the United States. And I want you to think about that. There are so many universities and colleges in the United States. And for us to be in the top 3 because we are the most affordable is a really great option. So I'm going to show you a little more on that. We're rated really highly, #1 for our student services. That regularly comes back that we're doing a great job. And then we have a really phenomenal international student scholarship opportunity. And that's where I want to talk a little bit more so that you're understanding that. When you look at the cost of education in the United States, you need to take into consideration a couple of different things, including tuition and fees, your living expenses, so that room and board, the food that we talked about just a moment ago, and then the required insurance, because in the US you need to have medical insurance, your books and supplies. That would come to over $30,000. However, one of the unique things that we do at St. Cloud State University, and I'm going to focus this part on our undergraduate students, but we give every international student an automatic scholarship for over $7,400. That is a phenomenal opportunity. It only requires that you are an international student. We're not going to even go into what your grades were. You get that automatically, and that's a phenomenal opportunity for you. So it brings that cost down to $22,869. And this is a phenomenal opportunity for you to get a very affordable rate. That's for the year. So from end of August till we're just finishing finals right now. And that is just a great opportunity. You'll find as you look at other universities or even community colleges that a lot of them are even more expensive than our university. And so make sure you have a really good look and understand the numbers. We guarantee that you're going to get that scholarship as an international student. So that's a great opportunity for you. We do that through what's called the Academic and Cultural Sharing Scholarship. We do have a few things that we're asking students to complete as a part of it so that you're engaged in campus. That could be taking a job, which you're welcome to do. That you have all sorts of different opportunities for you. So those are great, a great direction for you to go. For our graduate students, we also offer that academic cultural sharing scholarship. It's slightly less in terms of the overall amount that you receive, but you'll find out we're still incredibly affordable in that regard. It is not able to be applied to that intense English center that we talked about. Online is a bit of a funny one for us right now in a COVID world because a lot of the courses are online anyway. And so we are looking at how that works in the future. It also does not apply to that MBA or that Masters of Engineering Management, which is actually run at another branch campus of ours, which is closer to Minneapolis, St. Paul, in a place called Plymouth. We also do offer a few doctoral programs. These are doctorates of education. So educational leadership or higher education are examples of those. And that academic and cultural sharing scholarship would not be eligible for that. With that, I'd like to talk about how do you apply to St. Cloud State University? Well, again, we're going to make it as absolutely easy as possible for you to be able to apply to St. Cloud State. And so that's where it's really a great opportunity for you. First of all, our application is right on our website, and we'll put that in the chat so that if you want to stay in contact, we can send you that material on how to go from there. There is no application fee, so it's a nice, easy process for you to just apply, that you can go through and apply. What we're going to ask for is we want to see your current school records and any of your school transcripts. And based on that, we're able to review what where you're at in your education. And so we're going to work really hard. So it doesn't matter if you've gone through a normal U.S. high school program and have a high school diploma, or if you've gone through a different system like the International Baccalaureate. We're going to help figure out where you are in your educational journey and put you in that. We also are going to make it easy on you because proof of English proficiency, if I can even say the word proficiency, working on that one today. We have a TOEFL of 61 or higher, or an IELTS of 5.5. Now, the nice thing again about those is we will also take other forms of your proof of proficiency. There, we got it out that time. Say that 10 times fast. Your proof of proficiency will take things like Duolingo, or if you've already been taught in English, for example, if your high school or schooling has been in English, we just need a letter from your headmaster or principal to note that. And then the last step is providing financial documentation that you're going to be able to go from there. We want to make this process as easy as possible for you because we know you have additional steps that you've got to consider when you're coming to the United States, including applying for a visa. We're very excited that the U.S. embassies have reopened and are working hard to make sure that you have options of applying for your visa and make it as easy as possible, particularly in this COVID world right now. So we want to continue to provide financial documentation, etc. So those are good options for you, and we make it, again, as easy as possible for you to apply. Let me, the next is how to contact us. And we're fortunate today that we have Leslie, who's helping us in the chat. Leslie is actually with our admissions to be helping you through that process and is able to answer questions. So please feel free to email us. You can either email this email address on here, or we'll also put another one in the chat that is monitored by our admissions team as well. That any of those ways will get to us, that we welcome that. We encourage you to friend and like us and follow our activities on Facebook and all of the other different social media methods. So we go from there. So with that, I want to go to sharing one last thing, and I think this is a really important. I've got to make sure I upload it here. Give me 1 second. That we give you all sorts of options for you to be a part of St. Cloud State University, and we are dedicated all the way through our university president, and so that's where it's really unique.
Greetings from St. Cloud State University. I'm Dr. Robin Wacker, president of St. Cloud State.
So with that,
I'm delighted that you're looking into coming to our university. Let me be the first to tell you about what's so great about St. Cloud State. You are about to begin an amazing journey of learning and exploration. At St. Cloud State, you will be among a vibrant and welcoming community of over 1,200 international students from over 90 countries. We are proud to offer more than 250 degree programs, over 200 student organizations, and a scholarship for eligible international students, reducing tuition by nearly 50%. As you begin the application process, watch for messages with important information from our Center for International Studies. We can't wait to welcome you to our campus soon, and when you get here, I look forward to meeting you. And go Huskies!
So just a short message from our university president. I've got to make sure I stop sharing. Whoops. So I want to make sure that that went through, that you all were able to see that. But just some great opportunities for you in that regard. So with that, I want to open it up. I also have one other video that I'll show. I just need to pull that up. But it's a great opportunity for you to also understand a little bit of our cultural nights. But as I'm waiting for that to load up, I'm happy to entertain any questions. We also have Leslie that's here with us, so I can direct some of those questions to her, and that she's good to see you, Leslie.
Yeah, we had a very active chat, so.
I've noticed, I hear all of the beeps, so. The way we approach this is kind of one of us talks and one of us helps with the chat. So, so if there are any questions in there, Leslie, that you want to focus on, and I'll give you the camera just for 2 seconds while I pull up the cultural night video.
Sure. So we've had a number of different questions. Several were about dormitory options, like living on campus and things like that. We do have a number of different options. There are some like apartment style housing options. There's also the traditional U.S. housing for undergraduate students, where typically in a non-COVID year, you'd have 2 students per room. And then on each floor, there were shared facilities in terms of there's kitchens where you can make your own food on the weekends and things like that. There's lounge areas. Oftentimes there's computer labs. Right now, because of COVID, most of our dorm housing, every student has their own room. We do not require our students to live on campus. It is something that we highly encourage, especially your first year. However, because we don't require students to live on campus, there are a lot of housing options, apartments, and older homes that have, that you can rent that are within walking distance of campus. So there's a lot of different options depending on what you want to do, what you feel comfortable with. So you might find that your second year at St. Cloud State that you have met a number of different friends and that you want to move off campus and get a house. And so that's obviously an option. A number of questions regarding scholarship. So we did touch on this during the presentation. The scholarship, for the most part, with the exception of some of our graduate programs, the Academic and Cultural Sharing Scholarship is offered to every student for the most part based on admission. So you're given it your first semester, and then while you're at St. Cloud State, as long as you maintain a 2.5 GPA at the undergraduate level or a 3.0 GPA or higher at the graduate level, you would continue to get that benefit every semester until you graduate. So it's really based on the fact that you're meeting our admission requirements, and then it's also based on how you do while you're here at St. Cloud State performing in our classes.
And again, that's such a phenomenal opportunity, Leslie. I just really go back to the experience that students are able to get at such an affordable price, that we are so unique in that regard. So we really do hope that as you're comparing final cost with other universities, you realize what an opportunity that is. And one of the unique things that I don't know that we've shared with people, Leslie, is that would be about the same as what we're paying in the United States, particularly in Minnesota. And so a lot of universities have different rates if you are not resident of that state. And we value international students so much that we offer that price to you. And so we're paying the same as you would. So really unique opportunity for students from there. So sorry to interrupt.
No, not at all. I think that's a great point. It is something that we've been doing for over 25, if not 30 years, that we've been giving a scholarship to international students. And then the other thing that I like to also just kind of clarify, because you are going to be shopping around, I'm sure you'll be looking at other institutions in the US. And the difference there's 3 different types of universities in the US. There's private institutions, there's public institutions, and then there's what we refer to as they're public schools, but they're more research one institutions. So a lot of their funding, it comes from the state, but it also comes from like larger endowments and research grants that they get with larger companies. And so our institution, when you look at the pricing, our pricing is not an indication of quality, it's an indication of our funding structure. So public schools, like our institution, most of the funding comes from our state. So the state of Minnesota pays for our facilities, pays for a lot of our faculty salaries, my salary, Wade's salary, all of that comes largely in part from the money that the state gives to all of the state-run institutions. And then there's a certain percentage that isn't covered by the state funding, and that's the portion that's covered by our students. Now, private institutions, you'll see the bill for that. The pricing for most private institutions can be $30,000, maybe even $40,000 per year for just tuition. That's not living expenses. That's not some of those other things. And that's because their funding structure is that all of the money that they collect from students in terms of tuition, that's what they're using to pay their faculty, to maintain their facilities, their buildings on campus, and to do all of their projects and things. So it's important when you're looking at that really is why it's unique that we can even offer a scholarship and that we choose to offer a scholarship, because our affordability is, our tuition is very inexpensive to begin with. And then also just cost of living in Minnesota. It's a huge advantage to go to a state that's in the center of the United States, because the coasts are very expensive. So if any of you have traveled to New York or California, you kind of probably have seen the pricing and have seen, how much you spend even to eat out, how much you spend on hotels. That's all an indication of how expensive it is just to live on a daily basis. But going back to the chat really quick, someone had asked, what are your most popular academic programs? Wade touched base on this, he mentioned this during the presentation, but a lot of our programs at our university are part of they hold a number of accreditations, our schools do. And so like our business school, for instance, it houses finance, business, of course, like our MBA program, information assurance, and some of the programs that are dealing with the management of data within a business setting. And all of those fall underneath the School of Business, which is accredited by the AACSB accreditation. And we've held that accreditation since 1979. It's something that we're very proud of, and all of our graduates really do go on to do really great things. We're one of only 8 schools in the state of Minnesota that have this accreditation, and one of only 800, and I think 50, I don't even know if it's 850 in the world that have this accreditation. And so I think to answer this student's question, any of our majors that are found in the business school, any of our majors that are found in our engineering department, computer, electrical, manufacturing, even mechanical are very, very popular. Our nursing program, there's only 2 certified nursing programs in our state. So we're one of the top ones for getting your registered nursing degree. Education, we've been doing, I mean, we started out as an education institution. You're, can't think of it right now.
A teacher's training college. Yeah.
Thank you. A teacher's training college is where our foundation was. And so that continues to be. So this is like our most current list based on numbers of people who are enrolling. And a lot of that too is based on job market. Cybersecurity right now, if you were to get a job in the United States after graduation, it's pretty much, the unemployment rate is 0%. Like if you graduate with a cybersecurity degree, you are guaranteed a job. And all of these listed here are all careers that pay very well. I mean, they're all in the kind of the STEM fields. I know another one of the questions was about work authorization and employment opportunities in terms of OPT. So one of the things as a F1 student in the US, you do have the option of doing OPT and also CPT. So OPT is optional practical training, and then you also have CPT, which is your curricular practical training. The CPT is more of an internship component, and then the OPT is your work authorization. So when you're done with your program at St. Cloud State, you could then gain work authorization to work up to 1 year anywhere in the United States. So it doesn't have to be in our state, even though a lot of our graduates choose to stay in Minnesota because we do have wonderful opportunities. We have a lot of different partnerships that different departments and faculty have established between, this is a wonderful slide. And then the other thing too that I'll mention also is that any of the degrees that were previously up there, so a lot of our STEM, we have 41 STEM qualifying degrees. And STEM stands for science, technology, engineering, math, which many of you probably know. But we have a number of programs that are qualified as STEM. And so if you would graduate with a STEM qualifying major, not only would you have 1 year of work authorization, but your program would qualify you for a STEM extension. And the STEM extension provides you with up to 24 additional months to continue to work in the United States and gain experience. And then the idea, which happens for a lot of our students, is once you've had a job, oftentimes with maybe the same employer for, at this point, if you're a STEM student, you could have 3 years of experience. Many of those employers do choose to try and hire you on. So they would try to help you through the H-1B process in terms of becoming an actual, the H-1B is our work visa. So they would help you with that transition too.
That's great. I know Semi asked us a question about our civil engineering master's programs or engineering master's programs and just opportunities that are available for that. Semi, what I would say is we do have engineering. I'm not sure it goes specific into civil engineering, but one of the unique aspects that we go to at the master's level is, again, that master's of engineering management. Now, I do always like to go back to what we've tried to say a couple of times. The scholarship system is a little bit different for that program. So make sure that you reach out to us and we can give you more specific information on that. Our engineering programs are a little more general so that you have the opportunity to focus how you want to go through them, that we have experts in them from wide ranges but we try to keep it a little more general so that you can, so that everybody can be a part of that. So civil engineering would be a direction within engineering that you could probably look at. So for master's students, we always encourage you, make sure you reach out to us, and then we can connect you with the department. Because sometimes at the master's level, particularly in some of the STEM fields, it does start getting really specific on what you're looking for. And so we want to make sure that, that it's a good match for you. And so please do reach out to us and we can help you with that information. While we're waiting for any other questions to come in, I want to go ahead and also, we had talked about some of the cultural activities, and I just want to share one other quick video with you that shows you our most recent cultural night. Let's see if I can get this to go, and a short message from our Vice President for International.
Greetings from St. Cloud State University. I'm Shahzad Ahmad, the Associate Vice President for Center for International Studies, and tonight we are celebrating Journey Across South Asia. This year has been a very tough year. However, our students still wanted to celebrate the culture and represent their countries. Tonight, 4 countries, Pakistan, India, Sri Lanka, and Nepal, coming together and celebrating and showcasing their culture at St. Cloud State University. This is just a glimpse of what goes on at St. Cloud State, and we hope that many of you will consider being part of the St. Cloud State University, the culture, the educational journey, and everything that the university has to offer.
Great. So again, just some information about St. Cloud State University in a nice, nice format in that regard. So with that, I think I don't know how to close that part of the window. I did that last time. So we'll just keep it up for a second. So with that, we're coming right up on our 45 minutes. And we hope that, that we have encouraged you and talked some about the opportunities at St. Cloud State University. We continue to be really engaged with how we address COVID situations. Again, we encourage you to stay in contact with us. We've put that inquiry line in the chat should you need it. We really encourage you to do that. That's a nice way for you to be able to stay in contact with us and understand just more information about the university. So, so please check that. Leslie had put that in earlier in the chat so that you've got that.
Yeah, I'm adding it again now.
All right, great. Thanks, Leslie. And we're excited that you have been here. We hope to provide all sorts of opportunities for you and look forward to seeing you again soon. Hopefully that travel restrictions will allow us at some point to be getting out to Turkey and being able to visit with students that might be interested. We'll see what the travel rules are this year. And if that's an opportunity, we'd love to be a part of that. So with that, thank you all. Thank you, Leslie, for joining me.
Yes,
Good to see you. And thank you to the great hosts of this program that we're really excited to be going from there. And hope that you'll consider St. Cloud State University.
Yes, thank you very much for your great presentation, Wade and Leslie. It was a really informative webinar for the attendees. Also, we had a lot of questions and you covered them all. Thank you for your answers. I would like to thank the participants in Turkish as well. Katıldığınız için teşekkür ederiz arkadaşlar. St. Cloud State University ile ilgili diğer sorularınız için Leslie'nin paylaşmış olduğu mail adreslerinden iletişime geçebilirsiniz. Aynı zamanda linkleri incelemenizde faydalı olacaktır. Yarınki webinarlarımızda görüşmek üzere. Thank you again, you guys. It was a pleasure to have you in IEFT Talks.
So,
Thank you so much.
Take care. Bye-bye.
Yep, bye.